All right, man. We are finally back with our very first off-season edition of 27 Outs. I, of course, am Ivan alongside Stefan. We're back, guys. I was actually just looking at our YouTube channel, and the last time we were actually here with you guys was 10 days ago. So we were away for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? There's been certain things going on around the league. People starting to meet with each other. Should be soon. You know, Stefan's got a lot of stuff to share with us tonight. Stefan, how you feeling, bro? I hope that cough is going for good because it was a killer in the postseason.
No, we good, bro. We good.
All right.
I just needed it to, you know what I mean? I just needed to get some time off, but we good and it comes back here and there, but you know, it's not nothing that I can't deal with. But I'm good, man. Well rested. Put the phone down, put the socials away for a little bit, you know. Hopped on the IG if something needed to get done. But other than that, man, we been sleeping in, going to bed early, catching up, knocking out. You know what I mean?
I hear you, bro. It felt a little weird. I got it, man. I know you could relate to this too. To not, and I'm only talking about October. Like I know we just wrapped up an entire season. And shout out to everybody who rocked with us for 2025.
For sure, man.
But just October alone, like I don't know if you feel this way, Stefan, but October alone, like that in itself felt like part two to the season.
Yeah, it felt like we were. It felt like we were in the postseason with these players, man. It
Yeah.
felt like a whole new season. But I'm good, man. I'm well rested, as you can tell. I'm firing up. I'm fired up. I'm shot out of a cannon. Let's go, bro. I'm gonna start here because I need you to explain something to. Or I need you to help me rather, and the chat. I need everybody's help on this tonight because I'm lost. There were 8 managerial openings. Now, we still don't know who the manager of the Colorado Rockies is going to be. However, we do know their president of baseball operations is Paul DePodesta. We're going to get into that. He was in the NFL. He was with the Cleveland Browns since 2016 and jumped back into baseball just a week ago. So, I mean, I want to understand what that means and all that. But everybody else got managers. And there was a few that I was like, okay, I can see why. Derek Shelton in Minnesota. But some of them, I'm just like, what?
There was a couple.
What are we doing? You know? Like, the Padres, Craig Stammen, I understand it. You know, he was a part of their interview process. Like, he was interviewing candidates with everybody. With their front office. He was a part of their front office. He was actually interviewing candidates. He was in on the 9.5-hour meeting with Albert Pujols. So for him to get the job, I was just like, okay, that's a little curious. I don't quite understand that. And then you look at what the Nationals did. First of all, your general manager's 35 years old.
He's our age.
And your manager's 33 years old.
Right.
That's kind of crazy. You know, like
the kids run the show now, bro.
okay, but I still don't understand how that worked. And then the other thing that kind of got me was what the Giants did.
Oh, yeah, I was highly against that.
Getting a manager coming from college where I'm like,
my issue with that was him not having not even minor league experience. Not to knock him for,
right.
And I don't know what he's done in college yet, right?
Right.
To know that you're going strictly from college to the big league level,
it's kind of crazy.
Not even number 1 overall picks do that, you know? And I highly doubt that a manager deserves to do that as well. So
no, and here's the thing. So I've said this. It's like I understand it if you can tell me 2 things. Who is your bench coach and who is your pitching coach? Because if those questions can't be answered for me with a definitive guy with some experience that knows what the hell he's doing, then everybody's just all lost. Okay? I mean, first of all,
let me ask you this though, Stefan, right? Because I do agree with you. When you're bringing somebody in like that that's inexperienced, you want to make sure what's surrounding him has all the experience that you need, you know?
Exactly.
But you just mentioned what the Nationals did, for example, right? Like, would it surprise you if the Giants somehow end up hiring somebody who's maybe in their late 30s, early 40s,
As what? As the bench coach?
or pitching coach.
I'd be highly against it.
Right, right.
If it's me right now, my bench coach, if I am the Giants, Don Mattingly, come be my bench coach. Like, come help this out. I need somebody with some level of experience in here. Nah, this is crazy. And then, like, if you're the Nationals, your general manager's 35 and your manager's 33? Huh? Like, I'm looking at that going, okay, somebody want to call somebody with some level of experience. Like, get. I'm not saying Dusty Baker got to be on the field, but get somebody with as a consultant.
You know, it's funny you say
Help.
that because earlier today, I was doing some reading, and I don't know if you guys heard about this. If not, look it up for yourself because I thought it was an interesting quote by Joe Madden because we had just finished talking about the new manager for the Giants.
Yeah.
And he made a comment regarding him saying, like, look, I'm not knocking the guy for like getting the job, but since when are we giving these types of positions to
It's
people who have no experience? And of course, you know, some people run with it and say, oh, you're old, you know, live with the times. And then you have people like you and I who are right there with Joe Madden.
so I don't necessarily disagree, but here's where I want to bat this back and forth, and I want me and you to have a dialogue and go through this process. I'm not saying that you can't hire fresh new blood. I'm saying that that's good. I'm glad that some teams are willing to think outside the box and take the shot and do the things necessary to put your organization in the next position possible where maybe there's a trend where you guys can be up on the trend, where you guys can train players differently or talk to players differently or help players along with a little bit of a different mindset. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at looking at the game from a different lens or a different perspective. What I'm saying is, and I'm sure you agree with this, is there has to be some level of accountability for the person who's never done this before. There has to be a certain level of, hey man, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have made that pitching change. I wouldn't have talked to that player that way. I wouldn't have made this lineup addition right now because it doesn't seem like this player's got his full faculties. He's slumping. He's in a bit of a bad rhythm. Like, I'm going to be honest, Joe Madden should be on somebody's bench.
Oh, absolutely.
David Ross should be on somebody's bench.
Hell yeah.
Don Mattingly should be on somebody's bench. I'll take it a step further.
Even Joe Girardi to a certain
Joe
extent.
Girardi should be on
Yeah.
somebody's bench. Right. And so, like, I'll say this. Albert Pujols should be on somebody's bench. Yo, be the bench coach. I need, because you played the game. So I need you to understand, like, what you say is important. Right? Like, it made me laugh because the Giants hired Bruce Bochy as a consultant, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That I like that. How much of Bruce Bochy's input are we gonna get though? How much of his input are we gonna get on a daily basis, on a weekly basis even? I know you ain't gonna be around a team like that. I get it. You're in your 70s and travel's probably a trip at this age, and you don't want to do it anymore. Understood. But there has to be a level of, because you can't hold the players accountable if nobody's holding you accountable.
Right.
Because the players are going to look at these first-year managers and go, hold up, dog. You just got here last week.
Especially if they're close in age too, right?
Know what I mean? Like,
about that too.
you looking at some of these national dudes. CJ Abrams is like, yo, I'm about to be your age next week. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, I just don't understand why we don't value experience in the game anymore. Here's the other thing I'm going to point out too. I don't know if you thought about this, but if I'm those teams, I'm bringing in somebody with some experience off the bench.
Of course.
Like, yo, you got to have quality clubhouse guys.
That should be damn near mandatory because at that point, what are you running? Like a kids clubhouse?
At some point, yeah. Like, there has to be some level of, hey, if this is how we're gonna do this, right? There has to be a level of, okay, we need to bring in guys who, number one, understand what it's like to play through 162 games, because the managers ain't used to this either. The guy that's managing the Giants, college ain't the pros.
Yeah.
This is very different. You're talking about 6 months of every day, every decision you make is hyper analyzed, hyper scrutinized. So at that point, right, I'm trying to have somebody on the bench that understands that can get me through. Like, I wonder if, and he would never take the job, but if you were gonna fire Bob Melvin to do that, why didn't you just tell Bob Melvin, yo, stay around? I might need you to mentor this young brother.
Exactly. Could have given him something else.
Know what I mean? If this is where we were gonna go, then you need to understand that these decisions that these guys make, they're gonna be put under a microscope that is unforgiving. Like, it's unforgiving. And the thing that I find fascinating is nobody seems to be worried about that. No, these guys will be fine. No, these guys can handle it. Like, we don't know that.
You know what this goes to show you though, Stefan, and I don't want to, what up, Sox fan for life? I saw your comment there.
Yeah, what's good, bro?
I don't want to, sound like a conspiracy theorist, but what this shows is, damn, I just forgot when I had seen the comment reappear. It just goes to show how sports, not just baseball, I understand it's the baseball show, but just sports in general are literally ran by the numbers, which is why I think. And I'm still against it. Like, even if there are people, and I'm sure there are some people who will try to defend some of these hires.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely against them. And it's because, like, I never thought that we would get to this point where, like, doing something for so many years just no longer means anything nowadays. It's crazy to me.
It's almost like the experience is being so devalued that you kind of look at it and go, man, the game's in a weird spot. Right? Like, you remember when we were coming up as kids, there was always that old teacher that knew all the tricks of the trade that would show you, yo, don't do it like this, do it like this, because it could be easier to break down. Or, yo, look at the dates this way, but don't look at them that way. And they've been teaching for 35, 40 years with a different level of experience that they knew. They didn't need a lesson plan. They already knew, I'm going to weave in, I'm going to weave out, I'm going to show you different clips, I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. The reason why baseball, more specifically baseball and the NBA, are in the spots they're in right now is because we've gone too far to the extreme. On the pendulum has swung too far young.
Yeah.
Like, I remember days in the NBA where there was a Pat Riley, there was a Phil Jackson, there was a Lenny Wilkins, R.I.P. There was a Mike Fratello. There was a
even a Greg Popovich.
Popovich, right?
Yeah.
Where you had experience, Rudy Tomjanovich in Houston all those years. Like, they valued experience. Like, even in baseball, Bruce Bochy was in San Diego. Joe Torre was with the Yankees. Lou Piniella was in Seattle. Like, there were.
Speaking of Joe Torre, there's a doc coming out on him. I read recently.
Yes. And so it's like, whatever happened to the guys who just do this for a living, right? Like, that is now gone. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Because it's not that they necessarily have to be a GM. They don't have to be the president of operations.
No.
They don't even have to be a manager.
No.
But just give them something that allows them to not call the shots, but at least be heard. I think what comes out of their mouth should be taken
exactly. And that's kind of why I'm kind of like, I'm watching these teams in particular that went this route, like the Nationals. I'm watching like a hawk. I'm watching a lot of Giant games this year. Listen, you're gonna laugh. I'm watching a lot of Rockies games this year because I want to know how they're gonna put this roster together.
Yeah.
Who's going to be a president of operations and who's going to be a manager? I'm sorry. I know this doesn't mean anything, but have you seen the masterclass that the Braves have put on in terms of building a staff? Have you seen this? Jeremy Hefner, pitching coach. Antoine Richardson, first base coach. Your manager's Walt Weiss. He's managed before, right? Like they ain't playing.
I really just think the Braves, for example, since you mentioned them, just got to be healthy. I think this year they couldn't really figure it out altogether. You know, guys, we had even at what's this girl's name from TikTok?
Micaiah.
Yes, Micaiah. She came on and she told us how she felt as a Braves fan. But
Yeah.
I mean, just going based off some of the things you had just said about them, they might switch things up for next season.
So the Braves are interesting. They're an interesting case study, and I don't think Alex Anthopoulos, excuse me, is gonna have two quiet off seasons. They're gonna do something.
You think so?
They're gonna do something.
I
I
kind of
just
feel like they have to.
no. Well, they might do something that goes against the total, against the grain. Like we wasn't expecting them to do that.
Right. Wow.
Where, like, they may trade Ozzy Albies, right? They may look at offers for Ronald Acuna and see what that looks like. Look, you got to understand, Alex Anthopoulos is at a point now where I have to do things differently.
Wait, let me ask you this, because I understand the two players you mentioned, but how about Chris Sale, considering the age? Like,
So
I mean,
Chris,
he's still good for his age, but
I gotta see what Chris Sale does during
Yeah.
the season before I decide what is gonna look like if I want to trade him or
Right.
if I'm an opposing team if I want to trade for him, right? Because we're still talking about I think anywhere from like $15 to $17 million on this contract. It's not cheap, right? So like the Braves have some questions they gotta answer, but the thing that the Braves have, Drake Baldwin winning the National League Rookie of the Year. Shout out to him. He had a year. Shout out to him. Shout out to Nick Kurtz winning the American League Rookie of the Year, in Oakland.
yeah, honestly, he was damn near close to being an MVP candidate
He
in
was
just his rookie year, bro. That's crazy.
them brothers were balling.
Yeah.
Them
The
brothers
other
were
dude,
balling.
honestly, what's his name? Jacob Wilson. He at
Yeah.
some point was literally like neck and neck until he got hurt, if I'm not mistaken.
And
But
listen,
had he
if
not gone down, I think both of them would have been right there for him.
here's the crazier thing, you ready? If it wasn't for Denzel Clark being Superman, leaping and jumping and catching everything and running into walls like a nut, he's another one. Yo, they got something in Vegas, man. Like, I mean, people, in Vegas, they're gonna be banned, the ballpark. But listen, that lineup is no joke. You get them brothers some similar to pitching, it might be on. It might be on like Donkey Kong.
If they could just get at least like two starters, a couple.
Yeah,
of relievers in there,
yeah, nah,
like,
B.
I'm okay with the lineup as is. I'm not even saying to pull from what's coming out of this free agent class.
Nah,
That's
that
how much
lineup.
of a fan I am of how they look right now.
Like, you know who I would go sign if I'm the A's? I would go sign Valdez. You know what I mean? Just throw
See,
some money.
I like Valdez. My only issue with him is he seems like a dude that kind of lets his emotions get to him.
I got you.
And
By
I
the
don't know
way,
if you really want that around a younger team. Not to
he's
knock him as a pitcher.
no.
Because Valdez from the left side, he's one of the best. But at the same time, it's kind of like I'm not gonna act like I don't remember what he did earlier this
Right,
season.
no.
Like,
But I'm just
you don't just throw a fastball at your catcher's chest.
right. No, I'm just spitballing names. Like I just
Yeah.
want them to go get pitching. By the way, he is at the general manager meetings in Vegas, trying to do some PR, trying to save face a little bit, meeting with some teams, and
Who's out there?
Valdez.
Oh, really?
Fromber's at the GM meetings in Vegas, trying to like do some PR.
We're
And,
trying to get paid before Thanksgiving. I say
Nah,
let it
man.
happen because we need it for content.
Hey, no, I don't necessarily think it's about getting paid. I think it's more so about showing these general managers and these front office executives, listen, I'm not a bad guy. It was just a heat of the moment thing. I'm good in the clubhouse. Check my resume. I'm high strung, but like it's all in competitive nature. I think this is more of a tour for him to like save face and go through the process of, the dog and pony show. And there's a couple people in Vegas right now. Pete Crow Armstrong's in Vegas.
I got a question for you though. Now that we're talking about, a lot of these people now being all in the same room, is there a chance that maybe because Thanksgiving is just 2 weeks away, right?
Okay.
Is there a chance that it don't got to be something big, but something interesting can happen within now and maybe over the course of the next 2 weeks? Too soon?
Too tough to tell. Too tough to tell, but I will say this. I think I can give you the first name that I think comes off the board.
Who?
Kyle Schwarber.
Okay.
Think it happened soon.
Yeah.
Not like, tomorrow soon, but maybe around like Black Friday, December 1st tip. Know what I mean? Like, yeah. Because I think we already know where his market is.
True.
And I can tell you where I think he's going to go.
Really?
I think he's going to Boston.
To Boston?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
believe he played there for like 2 months.
He did.
Right?
He did.
The year but I believe he played there for like a second.
They went to the World Series the year he was there. No, they didn't. No.
No, he wasn't, right?
No. He was there in 2021 when they beat the Yankees in the wild card round, and then he was there then. Yeah, but he was in Boston for a little bit. Listen, I got him and I got Pete Alonso going both to Boston.
Both, really?
Yes.
Nah, I don't see both, bro.
You know why? Because
okay, if you say that, and you know what I'm about to come through with, but Sox fan for life for TD, whoever's a Red Sox fan.
No, right.
Not to say that they can't do both because they're the Boston Red Sox.
They should do both. You should,
and I think you should, even if
stop
you don't
being
get both,
cheap.
get at least one. But
Right.
if you do both of those guys, that means you say goodbye to Bregman. I don't think Bregman's coming back.
And they know that. And he
you
knows
don't believe he's coming back?
No.
Really? Damn. Yeah. I really enjoyed Alex Bregman in Boston, bro.
I'm
gonna be sad as a fan.
It is, but I just think the Red Sox, they see the age, right? And his legs breaking down, and how long can he stay at third and be productive, right? It's like, it just doesn't make sense. I think if...
Really, Sox fan for life. He doesn't want Bregman for that price.
Yeah, if you told me Alex Bregman didn't opt out and I can get him 2 years at $80 million, I'd have did it. But you're opting out, which means you're looking for a 4 year deal at somewhere around like $25 to $28 million.
Yeah.
I have two things. I think Kyle Schwarber kind of makes sense because he just, you can teach Roman some things. You can teach the young kid some things. You could teach Marcelo some things. And then Pete Alonso, he just solves your first base problem immediately. He walks in there and listen, Pete Alonso hit 35, 40 home runs in Citi Field. Pete Alonso in Fenway Park might hit 60 home runs.
So you think Pete Alonso's leaving the Mets?
I do.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And
I'm like stuck in between. Like, I don't know if we're kind of like seeing this and it'll be the opposite of, what we saw last offseason. Because we know how that turned out. We've talked about it on previous shows.
So,
or is it going to be that same exact thing, but this time with him not actually returning?
So here's the way I see it, right? So the Scott Boras poster boy, John Heyman, reported today that, there's a good chance that the Mets and Pete will do blah, 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 and they'll come back and they'll come to get together and they'll have kumbaya and drink hot chocolate and tell each other how much they love each other. But you know how I think, because my brain I'm different. What is the one word that the general manager kept repeating the day after the season ended, David Stearns? Do you remember the words, Ivan?
No, I don't remember. If you say, I might actually, but...
So, remember when we were doing a watch-along, we were in here talking, and I said, well, David Stearns spoke today, and he just kept mentioning the words run prevention, run prevention, run prevention. You know what that means? Pete Alonso, we'll see your ass later. Hell no.
A lot of Mets fans are going to be pissed.
So, but listen to what the GM is saying, though. Forget about me. Stefan is a bum compared to David Stearns. I'm a bum.
Yeah.
The GM is telling you, yo, dog, run prevention, brother. That means if I got sold on right, I can't have this do that first. I just can't. I can't.
That, by the way, that makes your right side very weak. Now that you say that,
That's what I'm saying. So if you're gonna sit here and yell about run prevention, run prevention, run prevention, run, and that's been your rallying cry since the season ended because you were abysmal defensively, that just leads me to believe that we moving on. Mm-hmm. And to make a finer med point, Edwin Diaz comes out today, and well, Ken Rosenthal reports that Edwin Diaz is looking for 5 years at over $100 million. My answer to Edwin Diaz is,
man, he's trying to re-up again.
I respect like his number 1.36 ERA. I respect it. You were good this year. You were very good.
Yeah.
But I got to think about 33, 34, 35, 36. Mm-hmm. Hell no. Hell no. If Edwin Diaz is lucky, the most I'm going is 4 years. And I got to hold my breath to do that. Mm-hmm. It's 3 with an option for 4 years.
I mean, even if it is for those amount of years, that AAV is going to be crazy for a reliever.
So I got him from anywhere from 18 to 22. Put it that way. Because when he signed his original deal, he was at 5 at 102, which was almost over about, that was like $20 million a year, right?
5 at 102? Yeah, it's like about 20.
About 20, right? About 19 and a half on a good day.
Yeah.
So if he got 19 and a half on a good day, you looking for about 21, 22, right? You could get 21, 22, but you ain't getting it for 5 years. Hell no.
I do believe one of them are coming back for sure, though. I know a lot of people might say that they should bring back both, but I do believe I don't see both of them just leaving like that. I would be very surprised, and I'm not even a Mets fan stating that.
So, but
I'm just a baseball fan. To see both Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso leave in the same exact offseason, that's a little heartbreaking.
This right here is an interesting comment. This is interesting.
Ooh, I mean, are the Jays willing to pay? That would be interesting.
They're willing to pay. Toronto's walking away with 2 bells of the ball this winter.
How do you think he does in the AL East? We've seen him. We've seen him in the AL West, NL East.
I think I don't necessarily love the fit.
Yeah.
Because if he isn't the closer, it makes all the sense in the world. If you telling me he's your setup man, that makes all the sense in the world.
No, I think wherever he goes, he's gonna be the closer, bro.
Listen,
and he's still good at doing it too. There aren't many guys that you really want to give the ball to who aren't Edwin Diaz.
So, all right. No, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. But
list, yeah.
You're right. So I've whittled this down to 4 teams for Edwin Diaz. I'm going to put the Mets first because that's the incumbent. It is Steve Cohen, and he got more money than the Feds. I'm throwing Toronto in here. I'm throwing the Red Sox in here. And I have an interesting wrinkle. I'm throwing the Yankees in here.
The Yankees?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
Because if you remember what I told you earlier, right? You don't have your full starting staff until probably mid-May or June.
Yeah.
If you're walking in at least with 1 starter down, your bullpen needs to be damn near unhittable.
Yeah, it definitely can't be what we saw this season.
If I'm replacing Devin Williams with Edwin Diaz, I won. I automatically won. I won. Right? I don't know if they do it, and I'm not going to throw the Dodgers are in the mix too.
Yeah, I was thinking Dodgers, thinking you were going to say that as well.
The Dodgers are in the mix too. The Dodgers are in the mix for everybody. Yep. Devin Williams is a target. Edwin Diaz is a target. Robert Suarez is a target. Mm-hmm. Like they got some targets. The thing about Toronto that makes them all the more compelling. So they just got that World Series bread. So they sitting pretty right now. They got $50 million coming off their books too. So if you're the Blue Jays, you might be walking out of here with. If I told you walking out of here with, I'm gonna say it. You walk out here with Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz.
Oh, forget about it, man.
That's nice.
That's a problem.
That's nice. And I think they have the requisite firepower to do that. I
I
think
wonder. I wonder if now that the Blue Jays, went on this run that they had this year, I wonder if now players in general, right, especially free agents, are looking
start
at
the
them like,
flock there. Yeah,
yo, maybe if I go there, I could be
we
one of the
could
guys
get
to
over the top,
actually.
right?
We
Yeah,
might win one.
we could get over the top. It's just, the only reason why I put Edwin Diaz in the conversation with Boston is because Chapman's aging, right? Chapman is aging, but there's a connection to Alex Cora. Both Puerto Rican, both very close to each other. Like there's you got to kind of read the tea leaves, but
Damn, that would be illegal, man. Imagine
Chapman and
Diaz coming
Diaz,
at you in the
yeah,
eighth
nah,
and the ninth.
that's not fun.
Bro, after the seventh, I don't even want to play anymore.
Not yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun. Speaking of not being fun, listen, I think Edwin Diaz. If I had to guess right now, I think the Mets are the leader in the clubhouse just because of the personal relationship he shares with the city. Cohen and his wife love him, and it makes too much sense, right? The guy is comfortable in New York. I get it, but I could see where he'd leave. Because if the Dodgers say, "Yo, here's a bag for 4 years at 90 million," New York, it was nice knowing you, but I'm going out west real quick. Know
See,
what I
but
mean?
the thing is, though, and you just said it yourself a couple minutes ago, Stefan. You said Steve Cohen, he could pay whatever bag. So
He can.
that's what allows me to believe that it's the Mets and nobody else.
I'll say this. I think it's the Mets. I think it's the Dodgers. And I think it's the Yankees. I think that's where it all sits. And I'll throw the Red Sox in there just for competitive, just for the competitiveness of it. But Edwin Diaz is going to have the pick of the litter. Speaking of having the pick of the litter, I want to amend something that I've been saying all season because I've gotten this wrong. I think Kyle Tucker tops out at 300 million.
300 million?
I had him close to 350, maybe 4, but I think 300.
A lot of people had him like 4 to 450.
I think he tops out at like 300.
I remember, I think it was like earlier this year, because we're crazy. We talk about things long before it actually happens.
Right.
But I remember the chat was actually involved too. And there was a time, you might remember when I say this, there was a time we had a conversation where we were talking about like, what would Vladdy get? What would Kyle Tucker get now that he's entering his walk year? And now that we're finally here, the numbers don't really sound, what they were once like for him.
No, and I also think the injury played a big part, right?
Yeah.
He had a down year. And I hate to do this, but like, Cubs, you made that trade for that brother, and you just going to let the brother walk away without a fighter's chance?
I know, yeah.
Come on, man. You the Ricketts family. You playing Wrigley Field. You can't tell me you broke. You print money. You play in Chicago. You don't play in friggin' Pittsburgh. No disrespect. What are we doing, man?
They might even lose Imanaga too.
They're gonna lose Shota. He's gone.
Yeah.
By the way, Shota Imanaga, his market's gonna be nice. He's gonna have a nice market.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher.
I got him in a 3 year like $65 million range. His market's gonna be nice. About 21 million a year. About that. Like talking to some people and reading some stuff, he's gonna get paid.
Listen, I'll take him as my number 3. I won't be mad at it.
He listen, the Mets are in on him.
They better be in it because
I think the Mets will be in on him. I think the Reds will be in on him. That makes sense to me. He does give up a lot of fly balls, so I don't know necessarily if I like the fit in Cincinnati because that ballpark is a bandbox, especially in the summer. Sox fan for life with an interesting question. Tucker to Philly. Don't know if John Middleton and his staff have the stomach to give out another $300+ million contract when you barely when you're barely speaking to your $300 million man now. You see Dave Dombrowski going on these, Bryce is great. We had a great conversation. Bryce is a competitor. Bryce is going to be awesome. Yo, you just killed him like 2 weeks ago, my boy. Now he's great.
Well, let me say this though, with Kyle Tucker going to Philly. Now, Sox fan for life, I had never heard anybody mention this yet. But I do remember, I don't know if it was this year, it might have been early this year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe last year. Remember, there was a time when Bryce Harper said that he would move himself from right field if the Phillies were to actually make a move.
You mean to right field?
Right, to right field.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, move back to right field. No, well, wouldn't make sense with Kyle Tucker. My mistake. No, it wouldn't make sense. I take that back.
I tell you where it would make sense.
Yeah.
If you replace Kyle Tucker with Cody Bellinger and put Cody Bellinger in right field in Philly and put Kyle Tucker at first base and move Bryce back to right.
You think so? You think that gets him moving?
I think so, because I think right now you're talking about Cody Bellinger. If Cody Bellinger's lucky, I have Cody Bellinger at like 7 years and like $1.85. That's where I got him. 7 years, $1.85.
Yo, shout out to Bellinger, man. Like, I remember just like 2 seasons ago, we were like, damn, like, is he even gonna get back to like what he once was?
No, Tucker and right.
I kind of feel like he bounced back nicely.
Tucker would go to right, Bryce would stay at first. But the reason why I think Cody Bellinger might be a better fit is he could play a few more positions. You could put left, you could put him at first, you could put him in right. Like, he's a little bit more versatile.
Yeah, that was my mistake, Sox fan for life. I was thinking about Bryce Harper's actual quote. That's why.
I don't know. Maybe. But the Phillies you gotta re-sign JT. You gotta figure out what you're doing with Realmuto at catcher. You gotta figure out the rest of your starting staff, right?
Flores is a free
like
agent.
You gotta figure out if you're bringing back.
I don't think all of those guys are returning to Philly. By the way, nah.
Not yet. So it's a tough sell because at that point, like, I would have the conversation if I'm Dave Dombrowski is like, we got to bring our own guys back. And I don't think Kyle Schwarber comes back. I think Kyle Schwarber is the one that they let get away because he doesn't have positional versatility. Where we're talking about, when I mentioned Cody Bellinger, you could put him in a few places, right? That being said, I don't think Cody Bellinger leaves the Yankees.
I don't think so either. I've been saying it since the season.
That's just my guess. Unless somebody comes at him with a crazy bag, I don't think he leaves the Yankees. But
right,
I can see where the Yankees say, well, you know what? Let's even explore some other options to see what else is out there. Like Brian Cashman, he spoke over Zoom today. He's not at the GM meetings, which is a bit surprising / alarming /
right. What the hell what are you doing? You should be working.
Well, I think it's a personal matter. It's a family matter. I don't know what the details are, but for him not to be at the GM meetings is a bit of a concern because you would think he would be there.
Yeah.
Just based on the fact that if you remember correctly, right? The general managers meetings is where the Juan Soto conversations got kind of kicked off. He walked up to AJ and was like, yo, your mans, what you doing with your mans? Like, I mean, like, let me get a hold of that real quick. You ain't paying them, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's a bit of it's an alarming thing where he's not there. And I will say this. I think ultimately Kyle Tucker's going to land. He's going to do very well. But I don't see Kyle Tucker in a big market. I can see Kyle Tucker in Toronto where it's big market, but it's not the pressures of New York or Boston or they're much nicer.
And he doesn't have to be the guy there too. He's already holding that down.
Right. Like,
damn, that would be huge, by the way, for the Blue Jays. Could you imagine if they were to get like Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, and the Diaz as we just talked about?
So I don't know if Bo comes back, but I think
I heard he's got a few suitors. Yeah,
he does,
and they're willing to pay too.
He does. I've heard the Mets connected to him. I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard the Mets.
Like second base would fit because I know the Mets are trying to get rid of Jeff McNeil.
Yeah, I heard the Mets connected to him. I heard the Orioles connected to him too because the Orioles are looking to spend some money.
Oh, please no, Bo, don't go there. Good to know that they're
An,
interested, but for him, no.
an interesting one that I heard that was connected to him that kind of made me go, was Detroit, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
Like Bo in Detroit, I'm not saying I hate it. Like it's interesting, but the one that made me laugh, somebody said today, like I was texting somebody, like, "Yo, could you imagine Bo Bichette in Atlanta?" And I was like, "What the hell are you doing with Ozzy?" And they were like, "We'll trade Ozzy, put Bo at second base, pay Bo like Dansby Swanson money."
I remember during the postseason, you had even told me that you wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers got in on him.
I would not. I would not be. Why the Tigers? Because he would probably play second base.
Yeah, I heard he's willing to actually move, and especially with the injury that he just dealt with too. He looks like a guy that you don't want him playing short long term.
Yeah, and you also got to think if he's 27 now, this contract's gonna run until maybe he's 35.
Right.
So Torres gone, absolutely. Absolutely.
He wasn't bad there.
He wasn't bad, but Bo Bichette just brings a little bit more juice to the lineup. Like he just brings more juice. Although,
see, I don't like Bo and the Tigers because it automatically brings me to what they might do with Tariq Skubal. And once I think about that, that just eliminates any idea of any other free agent, bro.
Again, I was wrong.
Straight up.
I was wrong. I'm going to take this back. I was wrong. This is an apology tour for me.
Yeah.
Tariq Skubal's not getting traded.
He's not getting traded.
No.
So why did it feel like for like 2 to 3 days, it felt like he was about to be gone like tomorrow?
No. So here's what it feels like as I've gotten some time away and I cleared the cobwebs out and I talked to some people and we've
PD, yo, what up, bro?
Nah, I mean,
where were you? You went MIA in October.
Probably out the country again. You know, big baller status out here.
We got the Red Sox fans in the building tonight. Shout out to y'all.
I would venture a guess, right, to say that we good, man. I would venture a guess to say that what the hell was I saying? Oh, Tariq Skubal stays in Detroit, and here's why. I think number one, I don't know if you're gonna get the proper value for him at this point, right? Like, I don't know what is happening. Like, I don't know what value you would get for him. Like, I don't know a team that would give you their number 4, maybe their number 3, 4, and 7 best prospects for a guy that's going to be gone.
My crazy self, and you usually wouldn't hear me say stuff like this, Stefan, but if I'm a GM, if Tariq Skubal could guarantee that he's going to actually stay here long term, like on what the Boston Red Sox did with Garrett Crochet, I'd be willing to depart with damn near whoever. I would do it.
Yeah. No, listen, I get it.
I kind of feel like you gotta have that mentality. Like, look at who we're talking about. Freaking back-to-back American League Cy Young.
No, listen. At some point,
special.
He's gonna have the pick of the litter when he hits free agency. Like we know this, right? I'll say this for the record. I do think if you're asking me right now where this all sits, he's gonna pitch in Detroit. He's gonna pitch his final year in Detroit, and then the big boys are gonna.
Well, listen. If he's going to do that, Detroit, what you didn't do last season, you better do this season. This offseason, because I don't think you're going to get another shot.
Well, look, I also think if you're the Tigers, you know you're not getting adequate value for him. He's a Scott Boras client. Scott Boras is not going to let him sign an extension at this point. I don't care how much he loves Detroit. Scott Boras knows there's a bag for about $500 million in his future. So he's not going to let him do anything to screw that up.
I got a question for you, and I think this is an interesting one too, because now obviously we all know who Scott Boras is, right? But for a lot of us, including myself, Stefan, I'm big on or a lot more understanding when it comes to the types of deals that he gets players, right? Mm-hmm. But how is he when one of his guys could possibly be traded? I'm curious.
So this is what I'll say.
I wonder would he actually engage those types of conversations regarding Skubal?
TD, no, you're right. I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna address this first. TD, I love you, bro. You're not wrong. You, in a normal circumstance, I would be screaming, "Yo, trade this brother!" Like yesterday.
You said it last year when he won the first Cy Young Award.
Trade this brother. What I'm telling you is my opinion is not what I'm giving you. I'm giving you what I'm being told from people who know way more than me, who are way more qualified than I am. And I mean, these people, they do this. So if these people were sitting here telling me, Steph, it ain't happening. They ain't trading him. To the point where, like, teams have called and they're like, nah, we ain't doing that.
Damn, bro. I kind of feel like, is this bait? I don't know if I should fall for it. I'm not saying that what you're sharing is wrong, but because of just a couple of days ago, bro, like, this wasn't what was being said.
I got you. So here's where I'm going to flip the script, right? Forget about what I've heard. You want to know what I think now?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting traded.
That's what I feel.
Because
and I would actually want to do that if I'm the Tigers.
Because
I can't afford him.
No, TD, and you know what? I agree with you, brother. You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. At that point, like,
yo, Sox fan, you trolling, bro. Get out of here.
Like, at that point, like, you're not wrong. Like, I don't disagree with your premise. If it was Stephen running the Tigers, yo, put your best, like, 4 deals on the table.
Yeah.
Whoever got the best 4 deals, like, we're going to do this and we're going to do this now. Because I don't have to ask Scott. I don't even have to talk to Tarek. Yo, we got to do what we got to do, dog. We just can't keep you. It makes no sense for us to keep you. To even try to keep you would be malfeasance. And the only thing that stops that is if the Red Sox know that, if the Tigers know that there will be a salary cap in place with absolute certainty. Because if that is the case, then they can offer him more money, probably, than any other team could in the open market. Because you probably want to give more of not a discount, but you probably want to give the hometown team the feeling that they can keep you, right? Like, That's the sense I get. So maybe Detroit is like, well, maybe if there's a work stoppage and a salary cap, we could keep this brother and we don't got to go out here and
listen, they better start wishing upon the star.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Forget about wishing on the star, brother. They better start praying to every god. Jesus, Allah, Gandhi.
One thing we do know about what they're waiting for, there's going to be 2 sides to it, right? And we're just waiting for one side to be chosen.
Yeah, and look, ultimately, I think this is gonna affect a lot of different things. Scooble's just a prime example because he's so close to free agency. But this also is going to affect how much money is spent this winter.
Yeah.
Because the money you spend this winter might affect what you can do moving forward. For example, I told you today, I don't know if you saw the text, but I'm hearing the Rangers are getting ready to cut Adolis Garcia.
Yeah.
Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, they want to save some money. They would like to trade one of these players, whether it be Seager or Simeon, but they're both on the decline.
I would do Simeon in a heartbeat if they could.
Nobody wants Simeon because he's older and had a down year.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the same since he's left Toronto. So
right.
My best guess is that you can't do that. All right.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Rangers, right? Like it's like right timing when it comes to their pitching staff, but wrong timing when it comes to the offense. Like the two just aren't in sync, you know? One is way better than the other, and that's a problem.
And this is where I wonder, and I'm thinking out loud now, right? Like I wonder if somebody forces the issue. And I got 2 teams that might force this issue. The Mets got the best farm system in baseball. You might have to use it. Use it. Tariq Skubal walks into that Met clubhouse, your team looks different.
I'm going to be honest, and I don't know if Mets fans have thought about this themselves, but me personally, I would be okay with moving on from Jonah Tong. And what's the other kid? Sprout? Forget his
Brandon
last
Sproat? Yeah.
Right. I would stay with McClain, keep him for sure. But if you want these two dudes and anything else that we have, as you mentioned, talking about their minor league system, go ahead, take them.
So this is where me and you differ.
You'd give up McClain?
No, I'm not giving them none of them kids.
Really?
Hell no.
Wow.
You know why?
Are you big on all three?
Not that I'm big on all three, but the upside and what it's going to cost, you got to think cost effectiveness now.
Right.
It just came out a couple days ago. Steve Cohen just lost $350 million.
I saw. Yeah, I read about that.
You know what I mean? So at some point, billionaires don't lose that kind of money. Mm-hmm. At some point, we got to start tightening the belt loop a little bit. Like, yo, I hear you, but I don't know if I want to trade all my prospects and then have to pay the amount of money it's going to take for them to do this. Right? I'm going to rule out the Red Sox for Skubal for this reason. The Red Sox, they're snake bitten when it comes to paying pitchers. They paid Crochet, but you remember before that, it had been a minute since they paid a starting pitcher, right?
I think Chris Sale was maybe the last
Yes.
one,
right? I don't know if they have the stomach to do it twice, plus give up prospects in order to get a trade done. My best guess right now is I think teams are of the opinion that he's going to stay in Detroit. One, because they need him. And it didn't work out. Both those deals didn't work out, Sale or Price, although Price won a World Series.
Yeah.
But it wasn't perfect, right? My best guess is that
Sale got them one. It was early in that deal with
right,
Boston,
but he wasn't like they both weren't great with the Red Sox. Nah. Listen, at the end of the day, right? Tariq Skubal's only I got him going to 4 teams. Mets, Dodgers, Yankees, and you know what? I'll throw the Red Sox in there for shits and giggles. Why not?
You don't think the Giants or like the Blue Jays, another team we talked about tonight, want to get
if the
involved?
Blue Jays do what we're thinking about,
because they've been involved with some of these other top tier free agents over the past couple of seasons, and that goes for both Toronto and the Giants. Now, whether they fell short or not, that's not the point.
Right,
but were they close enough to be amongst like the favorites? Absolutely.
That's a fair point. Listen, you know why this is also interesting? Because I don't know if you're ready for this, but you know why Skubal is what happens with Skubal is going to affect something. Paul Skeens is a free agent in 2 years left. In 2 years.
Damn.
Why is that important? Because the teams that trade for Tariq Skubal may not have the requisite pieces to trade for Paul Skeens.
Right, in a couple of years.
So I asked this question. Who's the better value play? Skubal or Skeens?
Skeens, bro, by far. And that's not a knock on Skubal, bro.
And that's why he's staying in Detroit.
Got you. Speaking of Skeens, you heard what came out earlier today? One of his teammates exposed the fact that he wants to be a Yankee.
Well,
you don't believe it?
Randy Miller's a horrible reporter, so I take with everything that Randy Miller says with a grain of salt.
Yo, we don't need no beef with the mainstream media, bro.
Listen, I want the smoke. Randy Miller is a horrible reporter.
Yo, by the way, if any of you guys ever come across like a clip, feel free to hit us up. This platform, the door is wide open. We don't even got a key. Just tell us you want in and we can sit down and chat.
I'm cool, but I'm telling you, Randy Miller's not a good reporter.
Yeah.
He's you know what I mean? He's bad at his job. So when I read that the quote that the annotation came from Randy Miller, I was like, well, that's bullshit. Because Randy Miller is not good at his job.
Yeah.
Right? If it had come from Joel Sherman, if it had come from somebody who's even somebody real reputable on the beat, like a Brandon Cuddy or a somebody of that ilk, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily understand why anybody would buy that. Raise it with an interesting question here.
Rick, what's good, bro?
because they're the Yankees and that's just what they're gonna do. Well, I don't disagree with the point. Like Razor, that's a great point he makes. He doesn't understand why would anyone, because they're gonna do that.
But also, I don't know if you were here for what Stefan had mentioned earlier, Rick, but you talked about it briefly where you said they kind of have to as well because they're going to be without a couple of guys for some months, you know?
Yeah.
And you're going to need somebody who's going to eat those innings while these guys are trying to return.
So this is why my best guess right now is that I already told you what I think they do. They don't play at the top of the market for starting pitching. I don't think they do that. I think if I had to guess, I think that they make a trade for a starting pitcher. I don't know who the person is. We could throw some names out there. Maybe Sandy from Miami. Maybe depending on what the Twins do. Maybe Joe Ryan. But maybe. I'm not saying that these are all this. Listen, the reason why you're going to spend another starter is because the starters they have are already older. Starting pitching currency is very, very, it's needed. Mm-hmm. Look at what the Mets just went through and David Stearns' unwillingness to spend money on starting pitching. That did the Mets in this year. It's not whether teams.
Well, you gotta look at it from this perspective, right, Rick? Because I agree with you to a certain extent, but I don't know if you knew this, but they're gonna be without Cole, Clark Schmidt, and Rodon. Like Clark Schmidt is out for the full season.
He won't be back until August if they're lucky.
Right, Rodon, he just got something done. I don't know what it was to be
bone
exact,
spur.
And I don't know. Just looking at like the Yankees right now in terms of starting pitching, I don't know if they have enough to plug in for those innings.
Yeah, I mean they got to do something. I don't see them playing at the top of the market. Like I said, I think a trade is more likely. I think if they do anything, maybe they'll do something on the fringes for like somebody who is like a Imanaga makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Number 3 type starter, eat up innings, kind of gets them through, till the big guns come back. That makes sense if you can do that.
Right.
The problem is that we've already seen how limited they are with the starting pitching. So they have to do something to get more from the starting pitching. Oh, it matters. I'm telling you it matters, Reza. I'm telling you.
Well, I get what you're saying then, but then that's the bottom line, though, is the fact that they're going to acquire. Now, of course, the trade makes maybe more sense because of the
trade
money
does make sense, yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, they might have to do it.
They might.
Yeah.
You might have to make a trade and sign a starting pitcher off the free agent market, depending on what this all looks like. And
that's
also,
a lot, bro. That's a lot.
I'm going to tell you this too. Don't be surprised if they trade Luis Gil. Why? He's out of options. The Yankees are not going to keep somebody around who is out of minor league options. They can't send him down. Mm-hmm. So Luis Gil's probably going to be a part of a package that goes somewhere. TD, what I think the difference between John Henry and the Sox is they'll close. We'll see. I hope they spend.
Wait, he's talking about Scooble and the Red Sox?
Yeah.
Wow.
Scooble is going to Toronto. The Mets are staying in Detroit long term. I highly doubt the last one, but yeah. I've said this.
That's the only shot they got.
I've said this, that if there is a salary cap, it changes things exponentially because,
of course, because now teams who couldn't spend the money,
yeah,
we could all match what we could all offer these guys.
Then the money becomes equal. All they got to do
is pick where they really want to
go. Right. Now it becomes about market size and endorsement deals and all that. Mm-hmm. Look. You're gonna think I'm crazy for saying this because what we do is kind of crazy. Right. Byron Buxton is waiving his no trade.
Really?
I think Byron Buxton's gonna waive his no trade.
So what was all that he was saying at the All-Star game? Like, yo, Minnesota.
Minnesota. That is because what's good, bro.
Because
That
you
is
had mentioned his name before he even mentioned that.
right. Well, here's the thing. I think there's gonna be a salary cap, bro. There's gonna be a salary cap. We're gonna have a lockout. We're gonna miss a full year, and there's gonna be a salary cap.
There, you and TD about to throw blows.
I'm not throwing blows with nobody. I'm telling you. There's
No,
gonna be a
I
cap.
hear you, and we're also seeing it across the board. You know, when it comes to just sports in general.
Nah, there's gonna be a cap.
Yeah.
What was I? Oh, the reason why I think Byron Buxton gets traded is because, yo, the Twins. What are we doing? You just traded everybody. Everybody got traded. You just traded Carlos Correa, salary dump. Griffin Jack, salary dump. The closer gone. My bullpen is gutted. What?
I mean, it sounds like they're trying to finish the job, maybe.
Also, you're trying to cut payroll.
Yeah.
They had to bring in 2 minority investors to just keep them afloat because they're in so much debt.
I'll tell you one thing when it comes to the Twins. If by the time they're done with getting rid of all these guys, and you already mentioned who they already moved on from, Stefan, if this does not turn around Minnesota Twins baseball, something's wrong over there.
And this is why I'm
look at who they still have. You mentioned Joe Ryan.
Pablo
right?
Lopez.
Pablo Lopez was another guy I was gonna mention. Like come on, they got dudes. Still.
You know what made me laugh? I'll tell you what made me laugh. Derek Falvey talked to the media today, the president of the baseball operations. That's right. I know these people's names like I'm going to the chair. So Derek Falvey talked to the media today, and I was like, you sound like you're trying to convince yourself that you want to build a contender. If ownership puts the kibosh and says, hell no, we ain't building, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Mm-hmm. So you can continue to tell the fan base, bear with us, okay, cool. I reiterate the point I just made. They just took on 2 minority investors. They are in the debt. You know how much they're in debt? $425 million, Ivan.
Damn.
That's their debt. Their payroll just 2 years ago was $153 million. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yo, dog. You're trying to get the payroll down from 95.7 to around 88 million. That means you want to strip it down even more. I don't care what Derek Falvey tells me. I don't care if he's whistling through a graveyard as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to strip it down butt naked, damn it.
Damn it, but with everything out. I mean, it's nasty out here.
Yeah.
And then I can't get mad at Twin fans who say, well, damn, what the hell? Like, why is it like this? What are we doing? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's ugly out here. It's ugly when you got the reporters of these teams looking at these ownership groups like it ain't gonna happen. Like that's why like when Ben Cherington comes out, the president for the Pirates, and says, "Oh, we don't intend to trade Paul Skeens. We're gonna keep Paul Skeens." You're gonna keep Paul Skeens to do what?
Right, nothing.
Sell tickets, and that's about it.
And he's just gonna rack up on his Cy Young award.
Because the moment that brother is free, he is leaving, brother.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Don't know where he goes. Don't care where he goes. But all I know is he gone.
By the way, shout out to Skeens for winning the Cy Young award.
Back to back.
No, that's his first. Last year he won the Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that's his first.
Scuba who went back to back.
So Scuba went back to back. Yo, listen.
Yeah.
Imagine a rotation where you start with hit Paul Skeens and freaking. Oh my god.
Nah, bro. Nobody better make that happen. Seriously.
Yeah. It's this. I'm there. I'm here.
Yeah, when you talk, and some of you guys may know this too, but you have conversations with Stefan. Stefan will have you like thinking baseball is gonna be going for good.
I'm here. I'm here because I'll tell you why I'm here.
If it gets to that point, the reason why I don't even like want to think about that being a possibility, I don't
either.
Like, yo, you understand that's gonna hurt the channel too, though. Like, as baseball fans, this is the main reason why we do this. Listen
I'm
here, folks. For those of you who are here, when that happens, if it is for that long, bro, yo, we can only go but so long. Like, even if it comes to like clips, just any form of content, at that point, we gotta come here and start talking about what's going viral. Cause
I mean,
what do we
look,
talk about?
I'll tell you this. The reason why I think baseball's in a very tough spot. I'll tell you why I think they're in a tough spot. Because I think the popularity is at as high as it's been in years now. People are going to ballparks. The sport is giving good TV ratings. Like, you can't continue to throw it in our face where this is all about money. I think what
And you also got teams who haven't been good in years, now winning games. The Mariners, the Blue Jays. You got
Yeah.
the Reds in the playoffs
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Razy, you make a great point. This is why I love you, man.
Oh man, that would be lovely if they did that.
So can we have a quick story time? Can we have some story time? We're leaving in a bit, folks. We've been on for about an hour, but I just want to tell this
We
quick
still
story.
got the gambling.
We're gonna get to the gambling stuff too, and then we're leaving. But I just want to tell this quick story as it relates to, excuse me, as it relates to Razor's point. Do you remember when the Pelicans were when the Hornets were in New Orleans? You remember that? No, they were in Oklahoma City. They were in Oklahoma City at this point, and they almost traded Chris Paul to the Lakers. You remember that? And the league stepped in and stopped it. Do you know why? The NBA owned the Hornets for about, I want to say, 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Why is that important? Rob Manfred has the discretion to say, yo, you know what? You owners are trash. I'm going to just buy the franchise out from under you, and we now own it. He can do that. I don't know if he does it, but what Razor says is a good point, because if it gets bad to a point where you're not even fielding a competitive team, Major League Baseball might want to step in and kind of like, hey, yo, dog, like,
You're not
come
even
on.
trying, yeah.
You're not even like, come on, man. And so I also think this too. Like, I think we're at a point now where it's tough. It's tough because you're trying to navigate. You want to give these owners a chance to do their own thing. You want to give them a chance to make their own way, but Bob Nutting is broke. He's essentially broke. His business is the newspaper business. That ain't even a business. That's a dying relic. It's out of here.
Yeah, it's almost extinct.
It's damn near extinct, brother. We don't even, you know what I'm saying? And then when you sit here and talk about all these other owners, there has to be some level of, damn, well, what does it all mean? Because at the end of the day, we have to do what's financially, fiscally responsible for the growth of the game. You can't have the Pirates and the Twins just being non-competitive. You can't do this. When the Brewers make the playoffs damn near every year, the Rays, they're in contention damn near every year. The team that the baseball should buy is the Angels from Artie Moreno, and get Artie Moreno the hell up out of Anaheim.
You know why I don't see it, and not that it's something that can't happen, like you said, because it could. But when you consider the fact that Manfred wants to actually add teams too, I don't really see him worrying about that. Plus, trying to buy teams out as well.
So this is why the expansion is stupid. I'm gonna say that when we talk about expansion, that is the dumbest idea. It's dumb because you got teams playing in minor league ballparks. You got other franchises who don't know where their next meal is coming from, to use a phrase. And we're going to sit here and talk about expansion? Why? Who the hell said expansion was a good thing? You are not printing money on an overall scale.
Yeah.
We might get replacement pellets. You're right, TD. I'm fully prepared for us to come on this show on December 1st, 2026, and for me and Ivan to look at each other and be like, yo, I didn't want to believe it, but damn, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to join us, you can mark your calendars now. Feel free to shed some tears, grab a drink. We'll be here.
Pour the liquor for the seasons we about to
Hold
miss.
hands, kumbaya, you
Know
know,
what I
sing
mean?
songs. I mean,
It's ugly, man. Speaking of ugly, gambling, right? We know gambling is a part of like life.
everybody's involved these days, bro.
Everybody's involved. Scott
Even your
Boris,
people who work 9 to 5s, everyone's spending money on this stuff now.
Scott Boris said something today where we should eliminate prop bets so the players don't really. There's no compromise to take it. You know, Scott Boris speak, just being Scott Boris.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at it and laughed, and I said, Scott Boris, you sound crazy, bro. You think they're going to stop this when they're making money off the backs of these players? You are out of your mind. Your mind is across the street. You know what I mean? Yeah. Your mind ain't even, you know what I mean? Son. I'm laughing because Emmanuel Classe, how stupid could you be? You don't think they've been tracking your behind since 2023? Since 2023, they've been tracking you, dog.
Now, here's what I would say, though. Not coming to his defense, but they did reveal, you know, some of the text messages that he exchanged with, you know, whomever this person was, that he was doing this illegal business now that we know of. But he was sending some of that money to DR.
Which is why I'm gonna be able to tell you this. I don't believe that this just extends to Cleveland. Listen, this is a ring. Telling you right now, this is a ring. This is a this goes to DR. This goes to listen. They're being arraigned in Brooklyn, my boy.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that.
You know, me too. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. I think there's a whole operation from Brooklyn to DR, and in the middle and back again, brother. I'm not saying that this is all the way true, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking it. These NBA, I don't care what they say. Oh, the NBA and baseball are not connected. It is connected some way, somehow.
Really? Why are you saying that for?
Because you talking about you dealing with mobsters. You ain't dealing with regular civilian bettors and you dealing with rings. Rings. You talking about lords of the underground. Dark. Dirty. Mysterious.
I'm surprised to know that the mafia still exists, because I've heard stories. We've all watched movies, but they're still around. That's crazy.
They're around, but they're not as around as they were, you know, in the 70s.
They were, back then
60s.
they were actually catching bodies.
They were running. But yeah, they still catch bodies on the low, but you know what I mean? What I'm saying is, listen, if you're talking about the Genovese family and all the families that are mentioned, and you doing this out in Portland, you doing this out in Miami and in Charlotte, a ring can happen anywhere. So
with the internet and social media, the way you
and then what the reason why I'm saying that this ring connects to DR is because you got people trading horses and you do this for me, I get you a horse, I get your mom's a crib, I do this and XYZ, and we'll protect you. And B, this is deep.
Well, I will say this, though. If that information comes out, or when it does, then it's safe to say that Classe and Ortiz, you know, they shared a word or two.
They've been shared a word or two.
And I think they have to as well. Like, the fact that you know what you're facing, that's pretty scary, bro. I might start chirping. I might start singing.
Listen, man.
I ain't trying to get locked up for that long.
This part right here.
That's true. So I get what you're saying. They're still out here running wild, but they're just moving with the times, though. Yeah.
Yeah, B. Yeah. Yo, dog. I'm telling you, even if they don't do the full 65, They sitting down for 25 or 30 of them bad boys. And you getting them consecutive. The feds don't come knocking on the door if they ain't bringing you coffee and donuts and saying hello.
Well, let me ask you this though, Stephen, and also for some of you guys who were here rocking with us still. Do you think the Guardians are off the hook or not so fast? Because I told you what I thought about that.
So
I kind of feel like the fact that it's two of their guys,
I think
had it been one, I think, okay, it's just this dude.
So I think,
but I don't just believe that it was Clase and Ortiz.
So-
Hell no.
no, but this is why I say I told Ranger I'm saying about on 15 more players that are pro baseball players that are connected to this.
Yeah.
There's about 15 to 20 more players.
You funny, Rick.
There's about 15 to 20 more players that are connected to this that I know of. So this ain't just a Guardian organization involved in this. This is a lot of different organizations that are involved in this.
Damn.
What I'm gonna tell you is this.
This is a bad look, especially with a lockout around the corner. Damn.
This is a horrible look. What I'm gonna tell you is this. The Guardians may be involved, but here's where I think it's a little bit of a tougher spot for them, right? I don't think that this ran rapid through their American minor league systems. I think a lot of this extends to the Spanish academies that are in DR, that are in PR, that are in Venezuela. I think that's where a lot of this stuff stems from. Because you're talking about when they get signed, they don't get signed with $1 million signing bonuses originally. They'll sign you out the DR for $2,500, you know what I mean? You ain't getting the millions and millions and millions when you first hit the signing bonus. A lot of times they prey on your desperation.
True.
So a lot of times what these players might do is like, yo, this minor league money ain't cutting it, man. Let me get in on that ring and let me, you know what I mean? And that's why I think a lot of these players are going to be exposed, and they're not going to be big leaguers. They're going to be people that are minor leaguers, that are low-level players, that are if it is a pro ball player, in this case of Clase and Ortiz, is going to be another case like this, where there were,
See, but here's my thing, though, right? Because I know, especially now with baseball, even though this stuff has been happening for years now, we're just starting to see it, especially with the internet now being involved. But, I hate to say this. This might actually be a yearly thing, bro. And I'm afraid that it's going to be like that for all sports because something's got to give, yo. You got to do something bigger.
So I'll tell you this, man. No, don't be afraid. Get used to the reality. This is the reality in which we live now.
Right. This is nothing, actually.
What we seeing right now is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
When I talked to Razor the other day, I damn near like broke his brain. Razor, you don't mind if I share this story? So I was on the phone with Razor and we were talking, and all right, man, love you, man.
Later, TD. Thank you for coming back, bro.
For sure. So I was on the phone with Razor, and Razor was like, yo, you know what I mean? The first thing that caught his eye was, yo, this indictment was in Brooklyn, and how far does this go? And me and him were talking, and I said, yo, one of the Palacios brothers, who are from Brooklyn, from Red Hook.
They are, yeah.
Joshua and his brother Richie. One of the Palacios brothers was in Cleveland.
Who was it? It was Richie that was there, right?
Richie was in Cleveland.
The younger one, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, hold up. Did he know homies from out here in Brooklyn that got them connected to this ring where his homies linked up with somebody, and you know what I mean?
Nah, you think so? Nah, bro, you breaking it down to like a T, bro. I haven't thought that deeply into it.
Hold on, wait a minute now.
All right, let me hear you out, because like you said, you explained it to Rick.
Yo, dog, they indicted these. The indictment is in Brooklyn, my boy. It ain't in Ohio. It ain't in Cleveland. It ain't in Mackenzie Gore. Hold up now.
Really? He's from Brooklyn.
Yeah, B. when you start talking about, yo, how did this end up going how does this end up going from Cleveland to, you know what I
I
mean?
had no clue he was born in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Wow. Yo, shout
So
out to you, Rick, for sharing that.
when I heard that this was a thing, I said, hold up now. One of the Palacio brothers involved is probably Mackenzie Gore.
Yeah, you were thinking of the picture from the Nationals for a second, but I know what you meant though.
Tristan McKenzie.
Trinity, yeah.
And I'm like, there got to be some sort of connection to one of these brothers. And for you to be tried in a Brooklyn court when this happened in Ohio, oh, they trying to bang you in the head. They trying to bang you in the head. Automatic 30 years, hold that down.
Damn, that's crazy if these guys are actually involved.
Because how do you get the connect? How do you end up knowing somebody in Brooklyn? You know what I mean? If they had said Washington Heights, I'd have said I believe it because you DR, you play the Yankees, you in New
Yeah, that's
York.
like a mini Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I'd have bought. But when they said Brooklyn, I was like, hold up, because you got two Red Sox players.
Wait, so let me ask you this: how'd you? I know you know your stuff, but how'd you even come up with the fact that these two guys are from Brooklyn? Because they are. But how in that moment were you able to piece where these guys got caught with, who was there? Because as you mentioned, one is not there.
So did you see the federal indictment?
I didn't maybe see that part of it. But.
So when the federal indictment came out, the first thing at the top of the byline was Ortiz and Clase are expected to be tried in Brooklyn criminal court. Not Ohio, not Boston, Brooklyn. Fed time. Out here. Oh, yeah.
Damn,
that means you connected with somebody in Brooklyn. You know somebody that was running the ring. You got connected from one of the boys in Brooklyn. And not to spill the beans, but the Palacio brothers are from Red Hook. They from Red Hook. What's up, Robbie? What's up, bro? They from Red Hook.
Have we seen this guy before?
I think so.
Have we? I don't know. Some people, I don't see you guys. Robbie, what's up? We don't see you guys so long in the chat. I end up forgetting.
What's up, Rob? Yeah. Somebody from Brooklyn's involved in it. And you know what? You know why I mentioned those two brothers specifically? Because I got family members my cousin's cousin is a cousin to the Palacio brothers.
Right.
You want to talk about 6 degrees of separation? Yo, yeah.
Wait, but you're not saying that you don't know anything, right? This is just something you wouldn't be surprised if it were.
I would not be surprised if they were at the forefront of this and they're just trying to keep it PG for now, keep it low profile. Don't even say nothing, just keep it on the low. And also, it's telling, man, Clase is still out the country.
Oh, they still haven't gotten him?
He's out the country. That nigga.
I thought by now he would have given himself.
He like, yo, dog. I'm trying to go somewhere with an extradition treaty don't exist, boy. You know what I mean? Trying to get it. Because now you start talking about governmental affairs, right? Where you start talking about extradition treaties and what countries got one and what countries don't. And where could I go? By the way, did you see the picture of Clase's Instagram story where he got 5 rings on his fingers and said, we'll talk tomorrow, and then deactivated his, then deleted the story and I think deactivated his IG?
Nah, I didn't see that. Damn, you doing some investigative work. You working for the feds out here.
What I'm saying is, so my mind works in a very puzzle pieces put it together kind of way.
Yeah, no, I've always known that about you, Yeah.
So every stone that got to be turned is going to be turned, and this is ugly because when you start talking about when the lawyer starts coming out and saying, well, my client had no knowledge of willingly, yo, dog, this guy Luis Ortiz left the courthouse the other day like he was petrified. He didn't even let the cameras look at him. He came out with a mask on. This brother don't even want to be seen, looked at, and please don't look at me.
Damn.
And you know what they did this for, Ivan? They both got a kickback of 12 grand each. Now, they made 400,000 off of Class A. But the kickback you got was only 12 grand a piece. It's ugly out here.
You make that with one pitch.
It's ugly out here.
Right.
It's ugly. Raise it, spit that game for me.
Yeah, I know who they are, Rick. But it's good that you're sharing that, especially for the people who don't know, you know?
Thank you. You know what I mean? Spit that game for me.
Oh, he's probably watching from the beginning.
Appreciate that.
He might be. That's what it seems like.
So
what he's saying is it sounds like the Diaz stuff from like early on. It could be.
No, he said best closer in the game to out of baseball in a year and likely forever. Just stupid.
Oh, yes, true.
No,
my fault.
Listen,
mistake.
And you know what's crazy? Didn't he have an ERA that was sub 1 like in 2024 where he was unhittable?
Yeah, like I had said the other day, bro. He went from being damn near unhittable, as you mentioned, to suddenly like you forgot how to pitch.
And you
and I've said this before. It's very possible to go from pitching or playing, period, at an elite level to damn near looking like the complete opposite. Could have been that too. But when you look at what he's in trouble for now, it makes you wonder, like, damn, how'd you go from that to suddenly the complete opposite in the postseason? What were you doing then?
Thanks for the clarification, dog. Appreciate it. It's nasty. It's nasty out here. It's nasty. And you know, my brain was always on some, they know more than what they telling us, dog.
Oh yeah, I don't think
they know more than what they telling us.
The investigation is everything, because as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I think these guys are gonna start talking.
And you know what's crazy? The reason why baseball and the NBA gotta be careful is because when the feds start looking at you, the feds want to talk to Adam Silver. That's how you know how serious this is. The feds want to talk to Adam Silver about Terry Rozier. When the feds want to talk to the commissioner of the league, you in trouble, dog. Because now your whole thing gets put into question. Don't be surprised if the feds want to talk to Manfred at some point. Oh, yeah. We're not sitting here talking about, this is a little petty cash. We talk about the integrity of the game. They willingly threw games. This is 1919 Black Sox level of scandal.
Right. That's why, listen, man, I know a lot of people love it. Some people do it on a daily, Shout out to y'all who do that. Stefan and I are not against, having a sponsorship with one of these companies.
Hit us up.
But the reality is when it comes to, you're right, hit us up. The reality is when it comes to sports, like, we saw this coming, bro. The fact that it was even allowed is insane.
Also, too, like, now you're going to start, and I'll say this and then we're leaving. You don't think baseball want to make an example out the next man that did this after the Golden Goose got a plea?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Come on, B. Ohtani got plead in like 20 hours. They're like, he did not know. Ipe, take that fall, bro.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that YouTube documentary. I don't know who's gonna make it for when they actually expose the real. And I know it won't be anytime soon, but eventually it might come out.
Shohei is gonna be retired back in Japan, so they, he gonna make sure he's nowhere near America when they're done.
His interpreter, for taking the time that he's doing right now, he's gonna be on salary for Ohtani for the rest of his life.
For the rest of his life, yo. Yeah. Don't even worry. I got the wiretap right here. Sending you that money right now.
So many people say it too. Like, I read some of these comments on social media of, the gambling posts, and people are saying like, yo, but what about Ohtani? Like,
it's nasty.
People acting like Ohtani didn't do it.
And they know he did it, but you're not suspending the go. Why you think Mike retired in 93?
They might come for us, bro. Who knows?
What?
They gonna hate us.
I'm cool. Listen, Mike retired in '93. He didn't retire because he ain't love the game. He retired because he was in deep with Slim Bowler. For those who don't know who Slim Bowler is, go Google Slim Bowler, Richard Esquinas. Mike retired. He had some debt. You don't think his father wasn't killed by mistake? Yo, you want to gamble? You don't want to pay us back? Your dad getting clapped, and we leaving his car in an abandoned part of Carolina, and his body in the ravine. Play with me if you want to.
Dan, you think Jordan had a money problem and they came for his pops? Damn, bro.
You didn't hear? You didn't hear the story. When the Knicks were playing the Bulls in '93 in the conference finals, after game one, Mike spent all night in Atlantic City gambling till like 4 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Yo, what? We can't get to you. We getting your pops. And you know Mike was close with his pop. We hitting you somewhere where it hurts, B. Play around with us. Damn, we wiping out families and all that. We ain't playing.
That's crazy.
Insight. Classe would have crossed Richie's path early in 2020, more likely 2021.
Listen, I don't know, but who knows? If it does end up,
it's
coming
nasty.
Out, that'll do for a lovely clip, but we'll see.
For sure. For sure. Anyway, guys, this was fun. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for stopping by.
By the way, guys, we are, and I know it sucks to say this, but as Stefan just said, thank you for rocking with us tonight. First show of the off season. Feels good to be back. There's no schedule. Sorry to say. We'd be lying to you. We gonna actually come here on a weekly basis, knowing that sometimes these guys don't even really do anything for more than that, So
yeah, I mean, well, look, this is what we'll do. Like, obviously we know for Thanksgiving we ain't recording, for Christmas we ain't recording, New Year's we ain't recording, blah blah blah. But November's gonna be really, really, really slow.
Right. There's really only like 2 more weeks left, and then you got Thanksgiving week.
Right. So you might see us maybe 1 more, maybe 2 more times
in November. Yeah, if you're lucky. We gotta be honest with them,
But if something happens, like if there's more,
listen. While I do want to make the content, right, I'm all for working, and I know you are too. But at the same time, I ain't mad if these dudes don't want to be active. Listen, we got a whole WBC to cover. All of 2026 to cover.
Oh yeah, it's nasty.
2026. I'm gonna say right now before the ball even drops, 2026 is gonna be our busiest year by far.
For sure.
Hands down. That's a lot of baseball.
For sure. Also, kids, just keep it tuned to the channel for like you might get news throughout the week if something happens. But shout out to all the award winners though. Shout out to Stephen Volk for winning back-to-back Managers of the Year. After knowing what he dealt with, there should be a statue erected in his honor.
They got that one right.
And Pat Murphy also won it, so it's back-to-back in both the National League and the American League. Shout to y'all, man. And we ain't got to go home, but we got to get the hell up out of here. So peace, y'all.